Good afternoon, everyone. This is Debbie Henderson from Debbie's Designs. Welcome to my afternoon tea time and a card. I'm just going to give it a few more seconds. So I had to reroute my video. I went to start up on my Stamp and Ink Designs group, and Facebook messed with us again, and I could not get on live on a group page. So I'm going to have to look into that. I did hear a few demonstrators complaining about that last week, and I should have researched it a little bit more. So anyway, I'm holding it today on my business page, and I'll see what I can do about getting the classes back on our Stampin' Ink Designs group. So this is afternoon tea time and a card. I've got my tea with me, but I'm going to move it over so I don't make a mess. And I can see you guys are finding me, so sorry it didn't work out on my other page for some reason. So today I'm going to be doing a fancy fold that actually includes multiple gift card holders on the inside. Before I show you that, let me show you what I'm using for supplies. I'm using the Under My Umbrella stamp set. I'm using the Pretty as Punch designer paper, and I've got a whole bunch of designer paper here to show you. So I've gone ahead and cut two pieces 6 inches by 10 inches. I've also gone ahead and used the Everyday Label Punch. I've punched these ahead of time. I used the same pattern and I cut 6 total. I'm going to use different sides, and you'll see what I'll do with these as I get going. Petal Pink for the card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Hello everyone, I'm so glad you guys are finding me. I'm so upset that I couldn't go on my other page. Now I've gone ahead and cut the little umbrella pieces from the Pretty as Punch paper, and I'll show you guys what I did that makes it quite handy. I actually cut out a whole sheet of these and I keep them in a cello bag, and I actually tuck them right inside my case so they're right there for me to use. So I dug up 2 of the umbrellas and then 2 of the little handles. Let me flip that one over. And then I'm also going to need 2 little slivers, 5 1/4 by 1/2 inch. Those are going to go on the inside of the card. 2 pieces of Whisper White, and these measure, let me see if I can remember. They're actually 5 1/4 by 4 inches. So 2 of those. And another one for the front that's a little bit smaller. The one on the front is 5 inches by 3 3/4. And the last piece is Calypso Coral, 5 1/4 by 4. So let me move all of this aside because we're going to do some scoring and cutting first. I'm going to show you the card that I'm creating. So this is the front, pretty cute. And I did add some of our enamel, heart-shaped enamel epoxy, but this time I'm going to use the frosted and clear epoxy just to mix it up a little bit. We also have the umbrella builder punch, the 1-inch circle punch, and then for inks, Calypso Coral and Daffodil Delight. So let me start out. I'm going to bring in my scoring tool. Oh, I need to show you the inside of the card. I forgot. So back to the card. So this is the front, very cute, but the major wow factor of this card is the inside. As you open it, you have all of these gift card holders on the inside. Now, the idea for this, I had this idea 2 years ago, actually, when I went on the Alaska incentive trip with Stamping Up. We always have presentations, even though we're vacationing, we have presentations. Krista Thomas was the one that showed us how to create this. And what she had done with her card that was really cool is she'd made this into a family card, and she had each family member's name on each of the gift card holders. So this actually fits 6 total gift cards. So that's what I'm going to show you how to make today. It's pretty neat. So let me bring my scoring tool in. So we're going to start out on the 6-inch side, and we're going to score at 3. Now, for those of you not familiar with the scoring tool, remember that there's 2 sizes of the ends of your stylus tool. I'm using the largest of the balls only because if you use the smaller one, you're probably going to go right through your paper. So always use the larger one. So I've gone ahead and done 3 inches. We're going to turn this over. We're going to do 2.5, 5, and 7.5. I'm going to do the same thing with the other one. So in half on the 6-inch side at 3. Turn it over and do 2.5, 5, and 7.5. That's it for scoring on that. And then on the petal pink, I've already scored it at 4 1/4. So now what you're going to do with the designer paper, this is for the inside that's going to hold all of those gift cards. We're going to cut on the score line up to the center, skip this one, and then go over to the next one. So this big flap in the middle is not cut. Now you're going to flip this over to the other side and you're going to do the opposite. You're just going to cut the one in the middle. So let's do the same on this piece. So you're going to cut on the 2 outside score lines. And then flip this over and do the middle one. So you have 3 cuts total. So when you're done, you have a big piece here and then you have 2 big pieces on this side. Now we're going to go ahead and fold on all of the score lines. So there's the center one. And then we're going to fold this in a really cool way so that all of the flaps will work with each other, and that's going to create the pockets. So again, we're going to go in the center, go all the way down, and then I've got one here, one here. And I'm just folding it every which way because they're going to go in different directions anyway. Now, here comes the little trick to this. You're going to face your designer paper so the big flap in the middle that's not cut is down in front of you. And then you're going to take this, you're going to start down here. We're going to fold on top. I'm going to go slow. Then we're going to go and tuck this behind. Then we're going to go over. Behind again, over, behind, and over. You're going to have to probably watch this a few times to get it. So when you're done, you should have the single flaps on each end look this way. And what I do is I just paper clip the center portion. So you're going to have the flap there just so you don't get confused. So let's do that one more time with this one. Again, you're going to have the large flap in front of you. So starting right here on the bottom corner, fold up, behind, over, behind, up, behind, and over. And again, you're going to have your 2 little flaps on the end are loose. Now, here comes the fun part. This is where you're going to use the little pieces that I just cut. And the way Krista explained it is if you were to add some tear and tape on the inside to glue your pockets closed, you wouldn't have enough room there for your gift cards because you would lose 1/4 inch on each side. So what she did is she used these label shapes. We're just going to fold them in the middle, the long way. So I need 3 for this pattern. And because there's a lot of movement of the in and out with the gift card, I'm going to use liquid glue. I'm just going to fill that up with liquid glue. Now we're going to start. Let me move this over. So you can see when you have the flap that's single by itself, that's going to lay flat. You move over to the next one. This one is folded, okay? So you're going to take this and you're going to glue it. It makes a nice little decorative corner. And there's your first flap for your first gift card. So let's go ahead and add glue to the other two. So I've got 6 of these to do. But isn't that a neat project? So now this one has been glued. We're going to go over to the next one. And it's on the opposite side. So there's gift card number 2. So 1 and 2. Lift this one up. And there's my little flap that's by itself. And again, it's going to be on the opposite corner. So now when we glue this to the inside, there's our 3 pockets. So now we're going to do the same thing. And I'm going to go ahead and paper clip this again, just so that it'll dry nice and flat. Let's bring the other one in. Now I don't want to do the same pattern. I had the flowered pattern, so I'm going to go ahead and do the striped pattern on this one. So again, we have 3 of these. Okay, so these are all nice and flat. There's my 2 flaps. Those go flat on the ground. Wait a minute. Let me add my glue to my... I'm going to add my glue to my punched shapes first. So for those of you asking for dimensions, you'll have to go back and view the video from the beginning, and I'll try to put them in the comments in my post when the video's done. Okay, so there's my first flap. See that it's open over to the right. We're going to put this down. Next one is open on the left. So we're going to add this down. And then the third one is open on the right. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and add my paper clip. So now you see we have our 2 sections done that will go on the inside. So let me bring all of the pieces in that we're going to need. So these 2 go on the front, and these 2 are going to go on the inside. And here's the 2 little pieces of designer paper. I'm going to glue those. Let me see, where's my card? Let me bring the card in so you guys can see how I did the inside. So I have some designer paper on each end of the 2 Whisper White layers. And you're going to see how neatly this goes on the inside. So now these are ready for the inside. So I'm going to bring in my card base, fold on the score line, and now let me go ahead and open this up. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and close it. What's going to happen is once you position this and you close the card, it's actually going to push it over a little bit, and you'll see that it's going to be in where it needs to be glued. See how it moved it over about 1/4 of an inch? So now I'm going to hold this down. Let me take out the paper clip. I'm going to go ahead and add a whole bunch of snail because we don't want this to move. Push this down, flip it over. Now we're going to do the other side. Fold this down, and look, now it's ready to open. So there's your little gift card holder. Now we're going to add the second one. Now I already know that this is going to be about 1/4 of an inch from the fold line. I'm just going to make sure it's even with the other one. Leave a little space in the middle. Fold this over. Go to the other side. And now we're going to fold this one over. And there's both. I have a little bit of glue sticking out so they're sticky. So there's my 2 gift card holders for a total of 6. So now what we want to do, this is quite messy on the inside here. So we're going to actually glue this to the inside to cover those flaps. I'm actually going to go do this side first. because I want to stamp, I did add a sentiment on the inside on the right hand side. So let me go ahead and ink that, because if you wait to stamp, you can't really, let me see if I can explain this. You can't really fold this flat because of the gap there. So it's easier to stamp the inside layers. So if you want to add more than what I did to my inside layers, do your stamping first before you glue these two panels down. So now this says Hello Sunshine, and that's with the Calypso Coral. So most of your work, your creativeness is actually done on the inside. Now this is going to go on this side. So look how nicely that finishes both sides. It covers those two flaps of designer paper that kind of look funky. So now we can go ahead and close that up, and we'll work on the outside of the card. The Calypso Coral layer will be glued to the front. Oh, I'm seeing a lot of hearts. You guys like this. I'm glad you like. I know this was actually, like I said, 2 years ago on the Alaska incentive trip, and it took me this long to make this. I just haven't had a chance. Okay, before I glue the white down, we're going to go ahead and add the little umbrella elements. And if you don't have the prettiest punch paper, the designer paper, you can use the stamp set and do your own umbrellas. Now before I glue the second one down, I am going to go ahead and do my little stamping of my little boots, and that's using Daffodil Delight. I'm going to stamp those about there, and then I'm going to use the ink to color. So I'm just going to add a little bit of yellow highlights and then bring it out so it gets lighter. Start darker where the two boots meet, where there should be a shadow. And then I'm just going to do the tops and the bottom. Look how easy that was. So there's how I colored my little boots. Pretty easy. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the second umbrella. That's going to go about there. Now let's see if I can find my little hooks, my little handles. There's one. And I glued those down with liquid glue. So this one I'm just going to tuck underneath, layer it over the boot. Whoops. And here's the second handle. And again, I'm going to tuck that under, make sure it's nice and straight. And then we're going to add two sentiments on this one. I've got the Showered with Love. That's going to go right here. And then It's Your Day. So I'm going to wait and glue this to the front of my card and then add the bling. And I did glue this layer down with dimensionals. So isn't this the neatest card? So imagine doing this for Christmas when you have a lot of gift cards to give out, or if you want to do a family thing like I just explained in the beginning. Okay, so this is going to go on my card front. And then let's add some of the frosted. I think I'm going to go with the clear ones. They're going to stand out a little bit more. So I'm going to add two right there. I used all the little ones, so I just have the large ones left over. So there's my bling. Let me add one more. I feel like it should have one more right here. So there's my card. So for those of you that tried to find me on the Afternoon Tea Time and a card page, I could not get the live to work. I need to research that. So I'm glad you found me here. And there's the inside with all of the 6 gift card holders. Isn't that nice? I just love this. It would make such a pretty gift. So I hope you guys enjoyed my card for today, and I hope to see you on Sunday for my Sunday share. That's at 7:30 p.m. I think I'm doing a technique this week. So make sure you join me right here on my Debbie's Designs page. Have a good remainder of the week, everyone. Thanks for stopping by.